Africa. Introduction. Africa, second largest of Earth's 7 continents, covering 23% of the world's total land area and containing 13% of the world's population. Africa straddles the equator and most of its area lies within the tropics. It is bounded by the Atlantic Ocean on the west, the Indian Ocean and Red Sea on the east, and the Mediterranean Sea on the north. In the northeastern corner of the continent, Africa is connected with Asia by the Sinai Peninsula. Africa is a land of great diversity. If you were to trek across the continent, you would pass through lush, green forests and wander vast, grassy plains. You would cross barren deserts, climb tall mountains, and ford some of the mightiest rivers on earth. You would meet diverse people with a wide range of cultures and backgrounds and hear hundreds of different languages. You would pass through small villages where daily life remains largely the same as it has been for hundreds of years, as well as sprawling cities with skyscrapers, modern economies, and a mix of international cultural influences. Africa is the birthplace of the human race. Here, early humans evolved from apes between 8 million and 5 million years ago. Modern human beings evolved between 130,000 and 90,000 years ago, and subsequently spread out of Africa. Ancient Egypt, one of the world's first great civilizations, arose in northeastern Africa more than 5,000 years ago. Over time many other cultures and states rose and fell in Africa, and by 500 years ago there were prosperous cities, markets, and centers of learning scattered across the continent. During the last 500 years, however, Africa became increasingly dominated by European traders and colonizers. European traders sent millions of Africans to work as slaves on colonial plantations in North America, South America, and the Caribbean. Europeans also sought Africa's wealth of raw materials to fuel their industries. In the late 19th century, European powers seized and colonized virtually all of Africa. Through slow reform or violent struggle, most of Africa won independence in the 1950s and 1960s. Independent Africa inherited from colonization a weak position in the global economy, underdeveloped communication and transportation systems, and arbitrarily drawn national boundaries. The citizens of these new nations generally had little in terms of history or culture to bind them together. There are 53 different African countries, including the 47 nations of the mainland and the 6 surrounding island nations. The continent is commonly divided along the lines of the Sahara, the world's largest desert, which cuts a huge swath through the northern half of the continent. The countries north of the Sahara make up the region of North Africa, while the region south of the desert is known as Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa is sometimes referred to as Black Africa, but this designation is not very helpful, given the ethnic diversity of the entire continent. North Africa consists of the countries of Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Sudan, and Tunisia. Sub-Saharan Africa is generally subdivided into the regions of West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, and Southern Africa. For the purposes of this article, West Africa consists of Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, and Togo. East Africa consists of Burundi, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Rwanda, Somalia, Tanzania, and Uganda. Central Africa consists of Angola, Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Republic of the Congo, and Zambia. Southern Africa consists of Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, South Africa, Swaziland, and Zimbabwe. The island nations located off the coast of Africa are Cape Verde and São Tomé and Príncipe in the Atlantic Ocean, and Comoros, Madagascar, Mauritius, and Seychelles in the Indian Ocean. 2. Natural environment. The great diversity of the African environment makes it difficult to generalize about the continent. While much of the continent consists of vast plains with little relief, there are also towering volcanic peaks and the largest rift valley system in the world. The climate ranges from the year-round heat and humidity of equatorial regions to the dryness of the world's largest desert to mountaintop conditions cold enough to support glaciers. It contains regions of biological significance due to their biodiversity and huge numbers of species found nowhere else. The African environment has long been mistakenly seen as hostile, foreboding, and tragically in decline. Popular descriptions of Africa such as the Dark Continent, images of untamed wilderness in nature publications, and sensationalized press coverage of disasters such as droughts and famines have shaped these perceptions of Africa. Geographers' accounts of Africa used to attribute the underdevelopment of the continent to its unfavorable environment, its oppressive climate, infertile soil, polluted water, and exotic diseases. These days have begun to wane. Increased scientific research on the African environment has done much to dispel old misconceptions and to provide insights into the physical processes that give shape to the landscape. The relationship of African societies to the environment is also much better understood. Yet much remains to be done before this huge and complex continent is well known and appreciated, especially by the general public. A. The African landscape. The African continent covers 30 million square kilometers, 12 million square miles, including its adjacent islands. It stretches 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles from its northernmost point, Ras Al Abiad in Tunisia, to its southernmost tip, Cape Agulhas in South Africa. The maximum width of the continent, measured from the tip of Cap Verde in Senegal, in the west, to Ras Zafuan, Ras Hafun, in Somalia, in the east, is 7,500 kilometers, 4,700 miles. The highest point on the continent is the perpetually snow-capped Kilimanjaro, 5,895 m/19,341 foot, in Tanzania, and the lowest is Lake Assal, 153 m/502 feet below sea level, in Djibouti. Africa is surrounded by oceans and seas, the Atlantic Ocean on the west, the Indian Ocean on the east, the Red Sea on the northeast, and the Mediterranean Sea on the north. Madagascar, the fourth largest island in the world, lies off the southeastern coast. Other offshore islands include the Madeira Islands, Canary Islands, Cape Verde Islands, São Tomé, Príncipe, and Bioko, off the western coast, and the Comoros Islands, Seychelles, Mascarene Islands, and Socotra, off the eastern coast. 1. Surface features. Africa generally consists of a series of flat and gently undulating plateaus occurring at different levels, broken by a few mountainous areas and by the rift valleys of East Africa. With a mean elevation of approximately 650 meters 2,100 feet above sea level, Africa is high compared to other continents. The southern and eastern section of the continent, often called High Africa, consists primarily of a high plateau with elevations between 1,000 and 2,000 m, 3,000 and 7,000 feet, above sea level. Northern and Western Africa, widely known as Low Africa, has much lower mean elevations. Most of the continent's surface has been warped into a series of large, saucer-like basins separated by highlands. The major basins of Africa are El Jouf, now occupied by the Niger River Basin in West Africa, the Chad Basin, surrounding Lake Chad in West Central Africa, the Sudan, or Nile River, Basin in Northeast Africa, the Congo River Basin of Central Africa, and the Kalahari, or Okavango, Basin of Southern Africa. 1a. Highlands. The highest elevations in Africa are found in the various ranges of East Africa. After Kilimanjaro, the next highest peaks are Mount Kenya, 5,199 m/17,057 feet, north of Kilimanjaro in central Kenya, Margarita Peak, 5,109 m/16,762 feet, in the Ruwenzori Range on the border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, RAS Dashan, 4,620 m/15,157 feet, in the Ethiopian highlands of northern Ethiopia, Mount Meru, 4,565 m/14,977 feet, close to Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, and Mount Elgon, 4,321 m/14,177 feet, on the Uganda-Kenya border. Africa's other major mountainous regions occur at the northern and southern fringes of the continent. The Atlas Mountains, a system of high ranges, extend for 2,200 kilometers 1,400 miles across Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, roughly parallel to the northern coast. These ranges enclose a number of broad inland basins and plateaus. In the west, the High, or Grand, Atlas contains Toubkal, 4,165 m/13,665 feet, the highest peak of the system. Toward the east, the Atlas consists of two parallel ranges, the Tell Atlas to the north and the Saharan Atlas to the south. In southern Africa, the U-shaped Great Escarpment extends 5,000 kilometers 3,000 miles along the coast from Angola to Mozambique. An escarpment is a ridge that is steep on one side and slopes down gently on the other. The Drakensberg Mountains form the most pronounced relief of the Great Escarpment, rising to 3,482 meters 11,424 feet at Thibana Ntelnyana in Lesotho. Cameroon Mountain is the highest peak in West Africa at 4,095 meters 13,435 feet. To the north, isolated highlands occur in the desert land of the Sahara, including the Ahaggar Mountains in southern Algeria and the Tibesti in northern Chad.